Now, children, once upon a time, Santa had no elves.
Once upon a time, Santa had no elves, no elves, no elves. Santa had no elves. Santa and his missus made all the toys themselves.
Ruby Lane.
Late one cold and snowy night, Santa took a break from working round the clock with Mrs. Toys they had to make. Christmas only weeks away, must get all of them done. Everything on time for Christmas, kids can't miss their fun. No elves, no elves. Santa had no elves.
Ollie.
Santa took a little walk by white flakes floated down. But when he passed a snowy drift, his smile turned to a frown. Santa heard a plaintive cry coming from the snow. Someone must be in trouble. To help I have to go. No elves, no elves. Santa had no elves.
Iris.
Santa dug into the snow, his hand got frosty cold. Soon rescuing a tiny man who wore a crown of gold. Poor tiny man was nearly gone, was frozen to the bone. Must save him quick, what must I do? I'll hurry, bring him home. No elves, no elves. Santa had no elves.
Ollie.
Santa's home was toasty warm, soon tiny man defrosted, with tea and cookies baked by Mrs. No more all exhausted. He found his voice and then announced, I'm sick, the Elfin King. You saved my life, I'm in your debt, ask me for anything. No elves, no elves. Santa had no elves.
Elaine.
Santa said you owe me nothing, happy I was there. Now I must get back to work, my mission I declare. No disappointing children, for Christmas they must find gifts of toys beneath their trees, I fear I'm way behind. No elves, no elves. Santa had no elves.
Ollie.
The tiny man, he flashed a smile, pulled out a golden horn. He blew some notes and took a breath, and tooted on till morn. The sun came up, a knock was heard. Well, who's at Santa's door? Dozens more of little folk through Santa's door did pour. No elves, no elves. Santa had no elves.
Ruby Lane.
The Elfin King signal proclaimed, with gratitude we'll work. You saved my life, we pay our debts. Stir coffee, make it perk. We brought our tools and all our skills. We help always with toys. We'll all pitch in, toys built on time, delighting all good girls and boys. No elves, no elves. Santa had no elves.
Ollie.
Santa and his missus, now joined by helpful elves, nevermore will toy alone in Santa's workshop by themselves. Year after year, elves vow to send, and if you'll ever miss us, we'll all show up and say once more, we're here again. It's Christmas! Once upon a time, Santa had no elves. Santa and his missus made all the toys themselves. Now elves, now
The story of this project goes back all the way to my first year of medical school. I played the guitar and I would invent songs that were based on the melodies of existing popular songs at the time, but putting in new words that were funny for my fellow medical students. And I heard other songs, particularly as we got into the Christmas season, and one of them being the famous song, Noel, Noel. And I just jumped into my mind doing a little twist on those words from Noel to no elves. And I thought, well, that could be such an interesting song if I could figure out what to say. Well, I didn't have time, and I didn't get to that right away. In fact, I didn't get to it until just a few months ago. Now and then, I would get the muse to pursue finishing that song, but it just never happened. A few months ago, I just got seized by the interest to just go ahead and get it done. And I sat down, and to my amazement, the song almost wrote itself. And when I got the song finished, I thought, how do I pursue the next step? But I realized that the song was really a children's book. So I decided, you know what, I'll make it into a book first, and then see where I'll go with it from there. Well, that was taking on a bigger project than I ever thought, because when you do a children's book, you need illustrations. That was not an easy job to do because it was hard to find a group that could do a decent job of this. But I did find a company called Blueberry that were very helpful to me, and I was able to describe each of the illustrations of my book in detail. With some of the illustrations, they got it spot on. With others, no, I really had to revise it quite a bit. Even with the good ones, there were always tweaks and adjustments and corrections that I had to do. It took as much as a week or even 2 weeks to finish one single illustration. I was driven to get this challenge accomplished. And finally, wow, when I got finished with all the illustrations of the book, I must say I was very happy with it. But now it forced me to think, well, wait a minute, didn't you start with this as a song? Well, that was also a challenge. I was so lucky to get connected with Megan Yinks because she's a music teacher with a lot of talent and great with kids, and she was able to recruit several kids that became the chorus. We spent hours and hours at a professional production studio to create the song. The kids were phenomenal. They ranged from 7 to 10 or 11 years old. We finished the song, we got both together, and I always had the idea that it would be great to have them both released at the same time to support each other. Somebody who bought the book will be interested in the song. Somebody who heard the song would be interested in the book. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Once upon a time, Santa had no elves. Santa and his missus made all the toys themselves. By Dr. David Charney. Available on Kindle, paperback, and hardcover on Amazon. Visit our website for more details.